Welcome to this short video exploring our work together to develop a vision for the Yorkshire hybrid food economy. It has been produced by a core team working with results from a Three Horizons survey taken by stakeholders and participants in the system. The survey results were worked upon by the core team and representatives from the survey respondents. All of the work that produced the content of this video is available to you. This video is about Horizon 1, the world as we see it now. We need this perspective to see the issues we need to address in our current world and to help assess our proposals for how we might enable a shift out of it and towards the world we aspire to be in 10 years' time. That's our Horizon 3. But now, let's take a look at Horizon 1. The first thing about Horizon 1 is a summary point. What we're seeing is a disjoint between policy and practice. An insufficient agency at a local stroke small scale combined with concentrated unbalanced power of large organisations, and this is combined with dilemmas around land management. We're going to explore that further. Firstly, let's just remind ourselves of the survey questions we asked. Question 1. What do you see around you right now that is evidence that the current Yorkshire food economy is under strain? Secondly, what do you see that demonstrates a decreasing fit between the Yorkshire food economy and the current and emerging conditions such as economic, climate, political, and any other factors that impact on society? But we also emphasise it's not all negative. What aspects of the Yorkshire food economy do you see that must be maintained, carried forward, and even amplified? Now, that's not going to be on this map we're going to explore right now, because that gets combined with our Horizon 2 work. At the core of our Horizon 1 are 4 elements that we see that interact and impact the whole system. The first one of those is the power of corporations. It's concentrated, it's unbalanced power of corporations and supermarkets, and the dominance of big food retail, and we see failing local high streets as a consequence. Almost diametrically opposed to that, we see there are issues with local and small-scale agency. There is insufficient agency and support, lacking at local and small scale, limited farmer economic viability, and barriers hindering change at the small farm level. Third element is top left here. We see this disjoint between policy and practice. Policy is not keeping pace with changes on the ground, and there's a mismatch between goals and action, and support lacking again for local and small food business. The fourth element is that we see dilemmas around land management. Land sometimes these days is thought of as disposable or not for producing food. And question, how can different habitats and species happen at the same time as we want to increase our food production? So those 4 elements are at the core of this thing that we see here as Horizon 1, our current world. Let's explore the power of corporations. This is one of the most raised issues from our survey, and one with the most connections to other aspects that we see in this Horizon 1. First thing we see is an excessive reliance on factory farming and all that implies. There are complex supply chain issues that exclude local labour and produce. Too much waste is created, including packaging. And there's a lack of public knowledge about food production system problems. And the power maintains that norm. It rewards weak public sector procurement. And there's a lack of diversity and innovation in the food economy. Local farmers struggle to fund innovation, especially in competition with the corporations and supermarkets. Now let's take a look at the issues with insufficient agency for local and small-scale producers. One of the aspects that came out of the survey and a lot of the dialogue was that poor diets are causing or maintaining poor health, and that the lack of agency means there is insufficient scale to be able to address this. Similarly, there are environmental consequences when limited resources are already stretched. There's little room to prioritise environmental matters. And in a similar way, the insufficient agency results in a lack of influence to really address the issue of too much waste. There are 3 more issues that really surfaced in our survey. First of these is the virtual food environment, the combination of the consumer, online food services and retailers, and convenient delivery, and not always focused on healthy food or local, and only available really to the more affluent in our society. In some ways linked to this is the issue of socio-economic inequality with rising food poverty and food insecurities. And then we see labour. We see a decreasing fit between skills provision and labour needs. All of these elements are connected together in some way. Here are the rest of the connections that we see in our Horizon 1 perspective. For any of us individually to produce such a consistent vision of a future would be difficult. This is the work and output of all of us working together. It is not all negative though. There are some aspects of Horizon 1 that we really want to keep and even amplify. These are captured separately and come into play when we start to look at our Horizon 2 journey out of this Horizon 1 and towards our Horizon 3. Thank you for your time in watching this video. We look forward to working together with you, taking this Horizon 1 view, looking towards Horizon 3 and working on that all-important Horizon 2 transformational journey.